So, good morning, beautiful humans. First of all, I miss you all dearly. And it's officially been 25 days since we practiced together. And this morning, I woke up thinking about how much joy your smiles bring to me. So, whether you typically know the other students in class or not, maybe kind of take a moment to think back, and if it was my class or someone else's class, think back to some type of event that happened, something that was said in a yoga class that resonated with you or that made you smile or laugh. If you're my student, you know I make the cheesiest, corniest jokes. Sometimes you laugh at me, sometimes it's with me. I love it all, always. But take a moment and think about one of those moments for you. Yeah. And we will get started today on our backs. Again, we're going to flow for the first half of class, and then we're going to bring things down a little bit more onto the mat for some deep stretching and a little bit of yin. So go ahead and find your way into a reclining posture, Supta Baddha Konasana. So our reclined bound angle pose. Soles of the feet come together, allow the knees to fall open. As we get the first glimpse into our hips this morning. And with your arms, you can have them either stretched out at your sides, palms facing up. Or perhaps this morning you have a hand on your heart and one on your belly. Beginning to notice the natural rhythm of your breath. Tapping into a little bit of extra gratitude for the breath and the quality of your breath this morning. And as you lay here breathing, I'm actually going to bring back an old theme from a prior class, and I am grateful to have taken a class with my dear friend Lynn Boucher, who said this, and it really resonated with me a lot. This mantra of I am still learning. We are all still learning. And we're all learning differently how to navigate this space, these kind of uncertain times. So remind yourself throughout practice that you are also still learning. Together, take a deep breath in through the nose, fill up the lungs. Open the mouth, big sigh. Again, inhale all the way through the nose, fill it up, hold the breath. Open the mouth for a sigh. One more time, inhale. Maybe this time you scream something out. Feels so good to audibly sigh. Use the hands to start to close your knees like a book. Hug them into your chest. Take a little rock, a little roll. And keep the right knee hugging in, left leg extends. We'll take our first twist, guiding your right knee all the way across the body. We won't be here too long. But just notice the change in your spine. Take another full inhale and a full exhale. Slowly find your way back to center. Hug your right knee in. And then switch sides. Right leg extends, left knee hugs up and in. And then come on into your twist. Left knee comes all the way across the body. Yeah, maybe noticing a difference from left to right, but still feeling the twist of the spine. Take another inhale and exhale. Unwind back to center. And then hug both knees into the chest again. And we'll keep the right knee hugging in. Let the left leg extend long, but we'll keep the left heel up and off the mat. We're just going to take some little pulses here, lowering and lifting. You can lift the shoulders and the back of the neck and head up off the mat. So right knee stays hugging in. You're just pulsing with your left leg, up and down, keeping your left foot nice and flexed. One more up, one more down, switching your sides. Left knee hugs in, right leg extends, keeping your foot up off the mat, and just a little lift and lower, lift and lower. You don't have to lift your shoulders and head off the mat. You can keep those grounded if you'd like. A few more here, really pressing forward through your right heel. And take one more lift, one more lower. Right knee comes in. Start to take that playful rock all the way forward and all the way back. So massaging the whole length of your spine. I encourage you to roll up, tap your toes, and then roll all the way back. Keep going. A few more, nice and playful. Right? Maybe this is your moment where you start to giggle or laugh a little bit. And then we'll come all the way up onto hands and knees. Find your way into your tabletop. So spreading your fingers nice and wide, creating a nice solid base for yourself. On an inhale, let your belly dip towards the mat as you pull your gaze and heart forward. And exhale to round your spine. Tuck your chin, your tail. Inhale to glide forward. Exhale, you round. Keep going using your breath, knowing that you can add in any little wiggles of your hips, maybe some half circles in one direction and in the other. Starting to move through and open up the spine. Take one more cat, one more cow. And then float everything back to neutral. I'm going to actually turn to face you because we're going to do something a little bit new. So when you're ready, yogis, step your right toes back. Keep them on the mat. On an inhale, sweep your left hand up towards the ceiling. Take a little twist. And then take your time. Weave your left arm underneath and across. So your arm will stay lifted. You're not lowering your torso. Everything stays lifted. Go ahead, sweep your left hand up again. And weave it underneath and across. One more time, open it up. And weave it under. Go ahead, open wide, reach the left hand to the ceiling, and bring it back down to the mat. Pressing both palms firmly into your mat, lift your left knee up. And then start to drag your left knee over to the right. And then we're going to open it up like a dog on a fire hydrant. Back to center. And left foot comes back to meet the right, knees go down, child's pose. Hips sink back towards the heels. Take another breath. Open the mouth with a sigh. Inhale, lift back up, tabletop. We have a second side. So go ahead and step your left toes back. And then we'll switch to the right arm. So sweeping your right hand up towards the ceiling. And then taking your little twist, right arm sweeps underneath and across. Inhale, sweep it up. Exhale, it crosses the body underneath. Again, inhale, open your heart. Exhale, thread. One more time, lift your right hand to the ceiling. And then release your right hand down. Ground yourself through your palms and through your left foot as the right knee lifts up. We'll take our right knee and cross it over to the left. And then all the way open into that fire hydrant dog peeing position. Back through center. Step back, high plank. Knees come down, child's pose. Take a big breath in. Open the mouth, sigh. Glide forward, tabletop. Tuck the toes under and let your hips go all the way up and back into your first downward facing dog. So taking a moment here to pedal your feet, shake your head, yes and no. And then take your time, walk the feet all the way to the top of the mat. Coming into your forward fold. We're gonna hang here just for a moment. Allowing the back of the head and the neck to release. Shake your head again, yes and no. Keeping your fingertips on the mat or bringing your hands to your shins. We'll inhale, come up, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. Again, inhale, lift halfway, pull the heart through. Exhale to fold. One more time, flat back on an inhale. Exhale to fold. Rise all the way up, sweep the arms high, extended mountain. Exhale, palms together, thumbs into the heart. Mountain, Tadasana. Take a moment to rock forward and backwards on the feet, finding all of your toes, noticing your heels, and then landing somewhere kind of nicely in the middle. I like to rock into my right foot and then into my left, back to the right, back to the left, landing in center. On an inhale, sweep the arms up, get tall. Exhale, swan dive forward into your fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank, lower all the way down to your belly. Roll the shoulders back, untuck the toes. Inhale, baby cobra, start small. Exhale, release the chest. Let's take 2 more back bends, yogis. Inhale, your heart lifts. And exhale, release. One more time, inhale, pull your heart forward and up. Exhale, release. Tuck your toes, lift all the way up and back. Downward facing dog. Shake the head out. One more time, look forward. Exhale, feet to hands. Come into your fold. Flat back on an inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Rise all the way up, big breath in. Exhale, fold all the way back down. Flat back, inhale. Exhale, hands down, step back, move through your vinyasa or skip it, down dog, yogi's choice. Using your breath. On your next inhale, right leg lifts up and back behind you. Bending the knees, step all the way forward. Come on up, crescent lunge. Sinking down into your right knee. Keeping some of that verticality through your torso, even if that means your back knee has to bend as mine does. And then pause. Dropping in. Left hand sweeps forward, right arm sweeps down and open. Take a twist. Inhale, the left hand sweeps up towards the ceiling, exalted crescent. Sink in another inch to that right knee, reach up with the left hand. And then bring your left elbow outside of the right knee, palms come together, prayer twist. Reconnecting to your breath. One more full breath. And release your hands down. Step back, move through your flow or push all the way back. Downward facing dog. Pedaling your feet out a few times, and then take a deep bend in your knees so that your shins come parallel to the floor. Allow your tailbone to tip up towards the ceiling like another inch, and then start to straighten your knees, only as much as your body wants to go today. On your next inhale, left leg up and back. Exhale, step forward. Into your lunge, we'll rise all the way up into crescent. Man, teaching like a powerful flow And doing the flow is like really challenging. We'll come into our twist. Right hand forwards, let your left arm sweep down and open. Exalted crescent, right hand sweeps high. Drop in, hugging in through the low ribs. Then we'll come into prayer twist. Right elbow outside of the left knee. Palms come together. Tuning back into your breath. Take another inhale. And exhale, release the hands. Step back, move through your flow or downward facing dog. On an inhale, right leg up and back. This time, roll open through the hips, bending your right knee for a little three-legged wild dog. Right leg straightens, press your right foot back, and then set it down. Inhale, glide forward. Exhale, chaturanga, lower halfway. Inhale, plank. Exhale, hips back. Inhale, left leg comes up. And then bend the knee, rolling open through the hips. Wild dog. Square off your hips, press back through the left heel. And then left foot comes down, glide forward. Knees come down, child's pose. Take a full inhale. Open mouth, sigh. Slowly come back up, tabletop. And then take your time pushing all the way up and back, downward facing dog. Yeah. Put a nice deep bend in your right knee, straightening the left leg a little bit more. And then switch your sides. So a very deliberate and intentional pedaling out of the feet here. All right, party people, on your next inhale, right leg up and back. Bend the knee, roll open through the hips once again. Press your right foot back and release it down, down dog. Coming right onto the left, wild thing. Go ahead and open it up. Wild dog. So rolling open through the hips. Press it back and release it down. One more time, right leg lifts up. This time we'll step all the way forward. Come on in, warrior two. So your back foot comes roughly parallel to the back edge of your mat. Right toes, 12 o'clock. And then we sink in and get strong through the upper body. So if you find that your torso is kind of reaching forward and flying out the window, pull it back in so your shoulders are roughly over your hips. And now we get to dance. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two to the left. Yeah, switching it up. So we're gonna keep going with this. So inhale, exhale, warrior two to the right. Inhale, you straighten, switch the feet. Warrior two to the left. Inhale, exhale, right. Inhale, exhale, left. Inhale, this time hands to the hips, roll the shoulders back and fold on down. Wide leg forward fold. You can walk the hands forward, coming into a wide leg down dog. Put a little bend in the knees if you'd like, and really press your tush to the back. Finding that length through your spine. And then we'll swivel our way around into a low lunge towards the top edge of your mat. And then go ahead, step your left foot forward, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands down, step back, move through your flow or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Let me check the time. All right, beautiful. We will meet up in downward facing dog. All right, on an inhale, right leg lifts up. Exhale, step it forward, come all the way up, crescent lunge. Hands together, thumbs into the heart. Start to hinge forward. We're gonna find warrior three. So letting your left foot lift up and back. Hips stay level. Slowly, slowly start to lift up into crane pose. Left knee comes forward. And then set it down, chair pose, Utkatasana. Drop the hips another inch, reach. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, heart pulls forward. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Take your flow, yogis, or skip it, pushing into down dog. Hooey. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, you step it forward and rise up. Crescent lunge. Hands can come together, thumbs at the heart. You have the option to keep your arms lifting up or bring them down at your sides. We'll start to get a little forward into the left foot and start to lift up through the right. Warrior three. Starting to lift up through center into crane. Right knee comes forward. Right foot comes down. Chair pose. Hugging up and in through the low belly. Hips draw back and down. Let's drop the hips a little bit more. This time we'll rise all the way up. Inhale, stand. Exhale, thumbs together, thumbs into the heart. Hooey, I gotta catch my breath after that one, yogis. Take a moment to reground, recenter. My favorite power pose, Tadasana. We're gonna release arms out at your sides, but the arms are strong here. So think of like that Vitruvian Man statue. Maybe you know what I'm talking about. Maybe you're like, what the hell? But radiate so much energy out through the tips of your fingers, through the top of your head, through your heart center, and down into your feet. So we're getting a little bit taller. The body is firm, belly is hugging up and in. Stand in your power and know that we are all still learning. Together as a community, we need to do our part right now to raise the vibration of everything that's going on and to keep our community safe. And you have the power to do that. I have the power to do that. We collectively have the power to help. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet wide, right to the edges of your yoga mat. We're gonna come into ragdoll, so grabbing opposite elbows and allow your torso to sway to the left and the right as you fold. And slowly release your fingertips down and then turn the toes out towards the front corners of the room so we can let the hips go low into our Malasana, yogi squat. Palms find their way together, fingertips into fingertips, triceps pressing into the legs to kind of manually open up the hips. And then find some of that baby cobra through the chest. So instead of rounding forward, letting the shoulders kind of go where they want to go, the shoulders roll onto the back, the heart lifts forward and up. Like you've got a little string on the very crown of your head. Press firmly into the palms. And let the eyes close for a moment. And breathe. Noticing the sensations in the body. Noticing your thoughts as they wander, and they will. And then as you notice those things, kind of coming back to your center. Release your fingertips out in front of you and slowly let the hips rise up. Heel toe your feet back in towards each other. With an inhale, lift halfway, flat back. Exhale, fold. One more time. Inhale, lifting your heart. And exhale, hands down, step back. Let's flow through a little vinyasa, rocking forward, lower all the way down to your belly. Untuck your toes, peel your chest up. And then release it down. Press your hips back, child's pose. So taking this moment to re-ground. Fingertips can be stretching forward on the mat for more traditional balasana, child's pose. Or you can always reach the arms back, maybe grabbing a hold of your heels. But really feeling your forehead pressing firmly onto your yoga mat this morning. Taking a quick scan of the body as we start to shift out of our yang and into a little bit more yin. Yang is that nice hot heat, masculine energy, and the yin is more your feminine energy. So we'll take a moment to slow things down, taking some nice deep stretches, accessing more of our connective tissues. Maybe this is the time where you want to switch up your lighting. And from your child's pose, stretch the fingertips forward, press your hips back towards the heels. Then start to walk the hands all the way over to the left side of your mat. And then bring your right hand on top of the left. And take a handful of breaths, breathing lots of space into your whole right side of the body, from the tip of your right middle finger all the way through the rib cage, down to your right hip. With an inhale, come back to center, and then same shape over to the right. This time the left hand will come on top, pulling back through your left. Sending your breath from the tip of your middle finger of the left hand down the arm, into your rib cage, and all the way down to your hip. Another breath. And come on back to center. Take your time, lifting back up onto hands and knees. You may want to grab for a blanket or a towel of any kind to put some padding under the knee. Know that that would be something to grab, I'd say now. And then shift more weight into your left leg and then lift the right knee up. Hug your right knee up towards your nose and then step it forward between the hands. Some of you may need to kind of back that left leg up a little bit to make that happen. Totally cool. So coming into a low lunge, Anjaneyasana-ish shape. And then I like to kind of weasel my left foot back a little bit so I can open up the hips a little bit more. Yeah. And then we'll keep the left hand or fingertips down, slowly bending the left knee. Maybe you reach back with the right hand, grabbing a hold of even a toe. Taking a nice little quad stretch here. Keep hugging your right knee in towards the center line of your mat. And then tuning into your breath. Tracing every inhale and every exhale. Allowing the pelvis to get a little bit heavier here. Slowly release your left foot down to the mat. Anjaneyasana. Left toes tuck under. Start to let your hips track back into Ardha Hanumanasana. Half of a split. Don't get me wrong, I don't consider this a split, but technically, it is. But we're going to stay here for a moment, so your back toes can be tucked or untucked. And then draw back through the hips, keeping some strength in the leg. On an inhale, lift up for a little flat back. And as you exhale, slowly, you can, if you want to, allow things to round. So you're hinging from your hips first versus rounding at your shoulders and then going forward. So keeping that long spine. Hinge, find your max point, and then bow down. Several rounds of breath. You might want to check in with the muscles of the face in this moment. Putting some space between the lips. And even wiggling your jaw left and right. Opening and closing the mouth a few times. And we hold, holding the poses a little bit longer. Typically in yin, we would hold for even longer than we are in this class, just due to the sake of time. We're going to speed it up just a little bit, but I do want you to get some nice deep stretches. Take your time, gliding back forward into a low lunge. So tucking your back toes, left knee will lift up off of the mat. And take your time, step your left foot up to meet the right, coming back into a fold. Options here to grab a hold of the backs of your legs with your hands if you'd like, kind of pulling yourself in a little bit more, or allow the fingertips to graze on the mat, shaking the head a little bit, yes and no. On an inhale, lift halfway, flat back. And exhale, let it go. Again, inhale. And exhale. Left foot stays where it is. Step the right foot all the way back, low lunge. We'll drop the back knee. So coming into Anjane. And pausing here. Notice whatever sensation you have going on in your hips. And again, addressing if you do feel a difference between right and left. So we'll go ahead and come into our little quad stretch to start. So your right hand will stay down on the mat. We'll bend the back knee and then reach around, grab a hold of your foot. Even if you can't reach the foot and you're simply reaching back, know that that is good. Even if they don't touch, you can reach. And we breathe. Again, going for sensation. Without forcing anything to be a certain way, look a certain way, feel a certain way. Really having some compassion for yourself, meeting yourself where you're at. I know for me personally, it's a real challenge to stay attentive through a full hour of yoga online. So if that's you, know that it's okay. And I love you anyways. A couple more breaths here. Allowing that left knee to still hug in towards the center line of your mat, pressing down into your left foot. Slowly release the right. And then we'll come into our runner stretch, that Ardha Hanumanasana, as the hips draw back. Left toes will come up off of the mat. And then again, we'll start by lifting through the chest, finding more of our long spine. And then slowly take your time, hinging all the way down. And then tuning into the breath. It might be useful to breathe to your mantra of I am still learning. Inhale, I am. Exhale, still learning. A few more very intentional deep rounds of breath. They say that deep breaths are like love notes for your body. Take your time, glide back forward into a low lunge-ish shape, and then step your right foot up to meet the left, forward fold. We'll bring the feet nice and wide to the edges of our mat here, putting a nice bend behind the knees, and we'll take our peace fingers, pointers and middles, make a little hook around each of the big toes. So deep bend in the knees, booty presses back. On an inhale, lift your heart and head forward. And exhale into your fold. Let your elbows open up side to side. Pulling yourself together. It might feel good to sway a little bit side to side. Releasing the grip on the toes. Start to heel, toe your feet back in underneath the hips. And then one at a time, drop down onto your knees. Absolutely no rush to get there. Dropping onto your knees, and we will thread the needle. So take your time, yogis. Sweep your right hand up. We've been here before. This time we will come all the way down. Let your right cheek or temple find its way to the mat. And your left hand just kind of start to slide it forward up to the top edge of your mat. You can kind of walk your left hand a little bit more over to the right so you can spin open a little more if you want to. No need to go there if this is perfect for you. And breathing in and out. If this is too much on your left shoulder, you can release the back of your left hand to your low back. Or keeping it kind of more in front of the face. Tapping into where you might be able to let go a little bit more and soften into the pose. Another handful of breaths here. You can slowly bring your left hand back, more in front of the face. Press down into your left hand to unwind. Sweep your right hand back up towards the ceiling. And then release it down to the mat. Take a couple little wiggles or movements that your body might want between sides. That might look like a cat and a cow or something else. And then reset. On an inhale, left arm sweeps nice and high. And exhale, thread your needle, left arm weaves underneath and across. Again, option to walk your right hand forward and slightly to the left. Another option for this pose would be to come palm to palm. So you can kind of roll open through the heart even more. Then we'll stay here for, again, a handful of breaths. Tracing every inhale and every single exhale, with or without the use of your mantra, I am still learning. A few more moments here. And start to slide your right hand back down next to your face. Press into the palm and sweep your left hand back to the ceiling. Unwind. Release the left hand down. Take your little wiggles that you need, a little rock side to side. And then we'll cross the ankles behind us and come to sit your tush back. And allow the feet to extend in front of you. Just finding your way into Dandasana, staff pose. So kind of like how we rocked back and forth on our feet in Tadasana, our mountain pose at the beginning of class, we're going to rock side to side on our tush, on our sits bones. Right? And we're going to land somewhere in the middle. Pressing the feet forward. Inhale, big stretch up. And exhale, forward fold. Letting your hands rest somewhere, whether it's your feet, your shins, or the mat. And then nice and slow, we're going to roll the spine up to seated. We'll bend the right knee, plant your right foot on the floor. Bend the left knee, left foot on the floor. And then reach the hands forward, like you're grabbing a beach ball or someone you love is running and jumping into your arms. Can't wait for that day. And then hugging your belly button back towards the spine. We'll slowly let everything lower down to our backs. I'll kind of scoot down a little bit. As you find your way onto your back, press your feet forward and reach your arms up and over your head, taking a nice full body stretch. And then start to walk your feet over towards the right side of your mat, and then cross your left leg up and over the right leg. We'll take our upper body and kind of shift it over again to the right into our banana asana, banana pose. So you've got this nice C curve happening. We'll hold here for a handful of breaths. Again, typically in our yin classes, we hold each side for like 2.5, 3, 4 minutes even sometimes. But given the sake of our short time, we're speeding it up just a little bit. So notice how the whole left side of your body is opening up. Gently uncross the legs, shift everything back to center. And then we'll take the same shape over to the left. So feet come over, your right leg will cross up and over, and then shift your torso. And point with the fingers over to the left, banana. And breathing into your right side body now. This big, long line of energy from the tips of your fingers. Again, all the way down the right side of the body and out your toes. A few more breaths. Then gently shift back to center. Let the arms come down at your sides for a moment. Bend the knees, let your feet come to the floor. Then go ahead and cross your right ankle up and over the left knee. Reaching the hands for the back of the left thigh, begin to hug in for a reclined pigeon pose. Keeping both of your feet nice and flexed here. And if the back of your thigh is not accessible, you can always take like a t-shirt or a belt or something and kind of wrap it around the back of your left thigh and hug it in and receive a similar sensation for the body. Release your left foot down, uncrossing the right. And then just allow the knees to sway side to side. Let me check the time. Oh, how time flies when we're flowing together. Knees come back to center, left ankle up and over the right knee. Knowing that each side is going to feel a little bit different, reach for the back of your right thigh and start to hug inward. Couple of breaths here. See if you can imagine your breath going right down to your hips. Giving them a little extra love, coaxing them open. Allowing things to stay open through the throat. Allow your tongue to fall away from the roof of your mouth. Let the shoulders relax onto the mat. Softening and breathing. Slowly release right foot down, uncrossing the left, and then Supta Baddha Konasana, just like how we started. We'll take a nice neutralizing pose for a moment. Soles of the feet come together, knees fall open. For this one, we'll come into our cactus arms. Nice little heart opener here. Bending at the elbows, let your palms face up. Yeah, and if you prefer a happy baby for your neutralizing pose, you can certainly press the feet to the ceiling and kind of pull down slightly on the feet with the hands. So know that either one will be useful for you in this moment. And then take a nice deep breath in through your nose. And a sigh out. Letting your knees close. With the feet up, knees bent. We'll start to drop the knees over to the right side of our mat. Shifting your gaze over to the left. And slowly inhale the knees back to center and exhale them over to the left, shifting your gaze over to the right. And inhale your way back to center. Give both knees a nice little squeeze in towards the chest. And then before we come into our Shavasana, I want to offer a little inverted Shavasana. We call it Viparita Karani, or legs up the wall pose. This is a phenomenal pose to reduce stress and anxiety, and I'm pretty sure many of us are experiencing something similar to that. So know that you can use any wall or no wall at all. So many options here, but if you do want to kick your feet up the wall, it would look something like this. So the backs of your heels rest along the wall. You could take a block or something and shovel it underneath the sacrum to lift your hips up above your heart and your head. And know that if you don't want to use the wall, you can stay on your mat with or without a something slid underneath your sacrum. Just one at a time, press the feet up towards the ceiling, letting everything shift, everything flow in the opposite direction. If you did come up to a wall or you're setting yourself up for legs up the wall, feel free to, things are falling. Feel free to stay there for your Shavasana. If you want a traditional Shavasana, now would be the time. Sorry if you got interrupted. Our boss just called us and Brad was hooked up to my speaker. But stay with your legs up the wall for your Shavasana, or start to settle in, coming onto your back. You can grab a blanket if you'd like, or a pillow. For your traditional Shavasana, I highly encourage one hand to find its way to your heart, one onto your belly, and breathe. And together, find a nice big breath in through the nose. Opening your mouth, take a sigh. Start to wiggle out the fingers, wiggle your toes. Gently turn your head to the left and then over to the right. From traditional Shavasana, slowly bend the knees, roll onto your right side. If your legs are up the wall, come on down and meet us on our right side. We'll take a few more breaths together, yogis. Take a breath here to seal in your movement practice from this morning, honoring your space for yoga. Another breath we give back and share to the other yogis who signed in virtually to flow with us. And save the last deep breath of love and compassion and gratitude for you. And when you're ready, press your way up to a comfortable seated posture, allowing your palms to come together, thumbs into the heart. I hope you all are all doing well, taking care of yourself the best way you know how. I miss you, I love you, I appreciate you. All of my light sees and honors the exact same light within you. And together, we say namaste. Thank you so much, beautiful humans. I hope you have an awesome Sunday. Thank you so much. Let me know anything you want or need in the comments. Send me a private message. If you're not connected with me personally on Facebook, know that you most definitely can friend request me. I would love that. It's Robin with a Y, Paige with an I, if you didn't know. I am going to be uploading this video along with all the others onto my YouTube channel. YouTube, you can search Free Spirit ROC. And let me know what classes you want next week. I would love to teach you. And if you need any one-on-one assistance, know that that's available as well. I want to make sure that you guys are still getting everything that you need during this time. I love you so much. Thank you all. And be well. Take care of yourselves.